Good morning. Welcome to Fasting Space. So nice to have you here. I hope you're doing well today. Grab a coffee or tea. Let's spend a little time together embracing the unknown. I was doing some more reading last night on the beautiful book that we're going through on The Mountain is You, the mountain is us. Found a real interesting passage on this as we think about change and what we are trying to do in a health space. Health space, we're trying to become healthier, so we're moving in a direction where it's going to be a little different than before. And the thing about human beings, right? People like the familiar. This is part of what takes us in a direction of anxiety, right? We have anxiety when we don't know the future, which is pretty much all the time. It's one of the ways we try to cope with that. We try to envision that the future will be like the past, like the present, like the past. Try to protect ourselves from the unknown. And if we're protecting ourselves from the unknown, that is looking like things staying the same. And we say, from a certain perspective, we say, oh, that's good because that's safer. Change means things could be different, means could be better, but could be worse. Even if it is very likely to be better, we say, don't risk it. That is what feels comfortable. Feels comfortable to us. And so we stay in that sort of place. But we want to go somewhere different. Here, I'm going to take us somewhere different right now. We're heading off into the mountains. There we are. Check out this beautiful footage I found. I was loving this, sitting by this beautiful mountain lake. Where is it? We don't know. I tried to find out. It is unknown. We're embracing the unknown in this place. We say we're just going to enjoy it. We're on a journey. We're heading on a journey toward better health. Find some joy on the journey in this place where we find ourselves today. So as we're sitting here, listen to these words from Brianna Wiest. The mountain is you. This is coming from a section that is titled, Self-Sabotage comes from what's unfamiliar. And we definitely can resonate with that, right? She says, human beings experience a natural resistance to the unknown because it is essentially the ultimate loss of control. When I was thinking about what to call this session, I said embracing the unknown. That's where I ultimately came because it was like the most positive. I was thinking about calling it or saying, what to do when life feels completely out of control. But then I was like, well, that's a little intense. But that's what we're saying here, okay? Something is unknown. We can fear the unknown because we're not in control of it. Now, we're never really in control, right? But we like to pretend that we're in control. When we try to get the amount of control that we have, and sometimes our resistance to change, our resistance to do something different is the bit of control that we can have. Say, at least I can I can stay in this space. It's like, it's okay. And see, that is comforting. There's a certain amount of good. That's what we're dialing into this space, that when we see the resistance to change and we see coping mechanisms, we say, okay, there are behaviors, things we do that are coping mechanisms. You see the good in it too, right? You say, let's not just be too quick to judge. There are good things that come from coping mechanisms. They started because they served us in a space. They gave us comfort. They help us in a certain way. Right? But now we see we went through a space, and now we're identifying this process that served us is, now we start to see, maybe it's not for this season, maybe it was for another season, maybe we're going in a new direction. Is this what you're doing in 2026? If that's what you want to do, I want to help you with it. I'm so glad that we are here. We're heading to the mountains, right? So say maybe this is like our base camp. We're on a journey. We're heading toward the mountains. Here it's at sunset. Maybe we won't set out at sunset. So, this is a sort of place we can just get ready for the journey. Maybe the journey starts out tomorrow, in this metaphor. Or maybe this is just the campsite on the journey, whatever is serving you best is the idea. Okay, but if we are fearing the journey, if we're saying, I'm resisting it because we feel we're not in control. They say, we fear this even if what's unknown is benevolent or even beneficial to us. This is especially true on a health path. We say we know there's certain habits and practices that can help us to move in a positive direction. But it's out of the comfort zone, it's out of the normal, it's not familiar, makes it difficult to flow toward it. So, from my perspective, this is how you move toward it. You carve out the space in the busyness of life to sit in a reflective space. Try to answer the deepest questions. What do I really want? What is the meaning of this experience? And what is the path that we can step forward on? They say self-sabotage is very often the simple product of unfamiliarity. It's because anything that is foreign, no matter how good, will also be uncomfortable until it is also familiar. This often leads people to confuse the discomfort of the unknown with being wrong or bad or ominous. However, it is more a matter of psychological adjustment. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Hump day. Getting over it. Getting over it. Absolutely. Yes. I can resonate with that. I was insulating myself already, so I have not been exposed to any political thing today. But I did yesterday, and I had an experience like that where I was just feeling the tension and, this is where we're at today. Say, embracing the unknown. Okay, there's a lot of unknowns going on right now in the world, and it is, this is giving us, an analogy for what we're saying in this passage, that, sticking to the familiar, right, can give us a lot of comfort. There's a lot of real benefit in that. And flowing through a season, a stressful season, often say, like, don't make big decisions. Don't do something drastic in the middle of, all these other things. And so We're trying to find the health practices. Here's the metaphor we've used a lot, the anchor in the waves, right? There's a lot of waves, a lot of storms going on. We hope it doesn't turn into some kind of hurricane, right? But sometimes it does. And so what are we supposed to do? Ground ourselves with the very best thinking and mindset that we possibly can. I can't change the entire world. We wish that we could, but we are going to change ourselves. We're going to help every day, taking a step forward, making sure that we are taking the step forward in health that we can in this day. We're opening up these reflective spaces. Look at the reflection in the water, giving us the metaphor for our life. We want to reflect deeply about our life and our values, what is truly important to us. Center ourselves in the present moment, letting go of regrets about the past, letting go of anxiety about the future. Be here now in this present moment. Say, I have this opportunity I've been given in this day right now to move toward health in the most powerful way that I can. This passage here says we're programmed to seek what we've known. Even though we think we're after happiness, perhaps we say that we're after happiness, we're actually trying to find what we're most used to. Just trying to feel familiar, trying to find the comfort of what's normal, right? We talked about that throughout the fall. Really, we want things just to feel normal. Part of why, certain things that are going on, say, are not normal. It brings a lot of stress, okay? So then triggers, things like that can be triggers. We flow back into old habits that feel comfortable as a coping mechanism when other things do not feel normal. Really good to really dial into that kind of mindset. To realize, okay, everything in life is flowing together. Our experience in one domain of life bleed over into the other. Our relationships, our interactions with news and political things, our health choices, what we eat, how we move, what we think, how we're sleeping. It's all one big space in the body. And then we realize, okay, body and mind, also arbitrary distinction. We're a mind body, so our thoughts so powerful, impacting the health of the body. And so then we're trying to reverse that cycle by taking care of the body so that out of health in the body helps to shape our positive thinking. And we can push it all back outward. This is the best strategy, what I am trying to implement in my own life. I've gone through many seasons of being overwhelmed and angry about, the political situations for many years that you say you wish weren't the case. Social media, I think these sort of things has amplified so many of these things. Make people say we can feel so small and overwhelmed, just like we're shouting into some void. Okay, but listen, look at the opportunity, look at the process. We focus on health first. This is the thing we can actually control. What we saw in this first passage is like we get stuck in the habits of the past because they feel familiar, and that is giving us a sense of control. But then we get into a reflective space and we see, but this control that we think we're wielding, it's not like controlling us in the right direction, we say. And so when we see that the process of change, the process of opening up to something different, is its own form of control. And this is how I want to help us walk out of that sort of space. We've talked about the toolkit that we have of health, the different paths that we can walk, whatever the metaphor you want. These simple, basic things, choosing the healthiest food, choosing not to eat food for a period of time to open up space for the body as like the big thing we're trying to do. Taking the literal steps, meaning moving the body in a thoughtful and gentle way. And then opening up the mindfulness practices, the journaling, meditation, connecting with our community relationships with people that are important to us. These very basic things that you can't really sell, you know. You can sell a healthy food. We have to buy a healthy food, you know. But no flashy commercials for a broccoli, you know what I mean? Like just the simple basic things that are the best, you know, the most health-giving. We start there at those places because those are the decisions we can actually control. They're actually the powerful decisions. To say, in the face of mass media, mass culture, crazy stuff going on, I'm not going to let that distract me from taking the very most important step. We only control our little life. You know, we get so into these huge things. What's happening all around the world? We feel so small and insignificant. We say, but when we ground ourselves and center ourselves here, in this moment, especially together with people walking on a path together, we say, no, we recognize this is what's important. This is what we need to do. And we realize it is enough. Like, when you think about, like, the word enough is not really present in our culture, certainly on the big scale. What's enough, you know, is everything has to be more and bigger and better and everything incredible. And it just, that can feed into this whole process. You know, I think we take that into even a personal development space, you know. It's like, we always have to be better. It's like when we don't recognize, like, actually, like, I'm good enough here. You know what I mean? I have everything I need. Health is a way of being. Nothing actually has to be done. It's like, look at the health place that fasting is, right? To say, I don't need even a single thing. I have everything I need right here inside of me. And that actually wellness can come out of that. Move toward wellness by doing nothing. So just saying that helps me take a deep breath. Like I feel that drive too, you know, it's like, oh, you're not good enough. You have to do more. You have to be better. You have to, you know. I was like, it's good to have aspirational visions. We're sitting here looking in the mountains. You say, like, who doesn't want to be better? But like when better is a pressure to please someone else, when better is coming from this society that never has enough. I mean, here's like a beautiful inversion, is to say, like, I want to be better by recognizing that I don't need anything else, you know. I want to be better by being more content, by bringing more peace into my life, by doing more with less. That's changing the idea of better. Better in our society is just more money, more status, more power, more control over other people. And we're looking at, you know, this about very specifically control in our own life. How do we really get control of our own life in the face of the unknown? We are moving toward the unknown in the future. We say we're going to be a healthier version of ourselves, leaner and stronger. Like, what's that like? We don't know. We hope it's going to be good. It probably is going to be good, but then we say, oh, we don't know it, so we can fear it. I've got some great quotes I found for us about overcoming fear. That's the other thing I was going to call this, you know, overcoming our fears. Embracing the unknown is like a big process of getting over our fear of the future, letting go of the anxiety about what things will be like when they're different. Like, these are the two primary drivers of maladies in human culture, right? Fear and greed, right? This is what drives most of the problems we have. Both of these things, fear and greed, we don't have enough, right? We don't have enough of something, or we feel that way, drives this. Always have to accumulate things, always have to be better. not finding a place of contentment. To me, this is what we need. Oh, and then to complete that cycle, I was saying, as we are doing these things and we realize these are the powerful steps that I control, this spreads outward. And this is what we want to be doing. We want to be radiating health, wholeness, positivity, love, light, kindness, thoughtfulness, contentment out into this society. If we really want the society to be better, we can't shout our way to it. We aren't going to fight our way to it. You know, that I was so inspired reading Dr. King for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, you know, diving back into some of, you know, even him referencing Gandhi and the nonviolence, and just leaning into love for people as a path to health. To me, I'm completely inspired by that. That is the answer. That was Dr. King's Nobel speech, that people going to have to figure it out. You know, he said that in 1964. We still haven't figured it out, obviously. People going to have to figure out if we want a healthy society, if we want healthy people, so we bring it down to ourselves. If we want to be healthy, we got to figure out how to solve our differences and live together in this beautiful place. Beautiful place without oppression and violence. We got to get the oppression and violence out of our own life first. We talked about that yesterday. Tell that drill sergeant to get out of here. We don't need you bossing us around anymore. We are content in this space. Yeah, this is what they say here. Limiting beliefs come from wanting to keep ourselves safe. But then it's a double-edged sword. Do you see it? Double-edged sword, because keeping ourselves in one space, if it's leading us to be unhealthy, well, if we're not healthy, we're not really safe, right? It's like being unhealthy means we're opening ourselves up to risk. And we got plenty of risk in the world today in the health space. Diabetes and heart disease, stroke, dementia, like all these things. We're trying to have health span, right? We're trying to give ourselves longevity and health span, meaning staying healthy and flourishing throughout this whole space. Fear always been smoldering in the background for me, even when I didn't realize that's what I was feeling. It was actually fear. Yeah, you know, I think fear is a sneaky thing. It's just like we have an idea of fear as like watching a horror movie and we're like terrified in some space. And that's maybe, you know, level 11 on the fear scale. It's like imminent attack or something like this. But like fear also much more subtle. It cloaks itself, kind of sneaks in there. And like, think about what is the most mild version of fear. Might be something, yeah, we don't even recognize it. It's just like a subtle little voice say, you don't want to do that. You'd be better off if you just didn't, you know? We gotta move. I saw a quote once, I can't remember. Said, the time has come to move beyond fear and embrace solutions. I just love that. This is the time for solutions, you know? This is not the time for living in fear. This is not the time for perpetuating cycles that haven't served us. It's a time to find the solution, the time for the new path. I wanna be standing on the top of that mountain looking out at the sunset. I'm ready to take the journey, that's what I say. We want to keep ourselves safe. They go on, maybe that's why you prefer the comfort of what you've known to the vulnerability of what you don't. Change, right? In a certain way, yeah, it does. We have to open up a little bit to change. That at least feels like vulnerability. Probably is, yeah. But then we see too, there's vulnerability in not changing, right? Life is change. We are change, always changing. The seasons giving us the example. Life is flowing through seasons of change. When we are an object that doesn't go with the flow, and we refuse to change, when we're static, stuck, then we become, say, sclerotic. Say we don't want that. That is its own vulnerability. We need to be adaptable. I think of things that are hard and inflexible. Crack, right? They crack. That's what I'm seeing here in the frozen cold of Wisconsin. Here she says, we think that suffering can make us more worthy. Boy, did that one hit me hard when I read that. This is personally a very very deep couple words for me, and one of the reasons I finally left my medical practice, even though it was so hard to do a medical practice at the university. Say I've got to find a way to help people in a different kind of way, because this was my experience in medicine. The systems of medicine that we have, in America today are exploitative. And they are specifically exploitative of the people who work in this system. It is not thoughtful in any way to the doctors, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, medical assistants, everybody, receptionists, everybody is just squeezing every drop out of people, to the point that pretty much most people that I know in my clinic, everybody's struggling. That's what I can say. Everybody feeling the weight. Not a lot of joy on the journey happening, I can tell you that. And this is the complete inversion of what I believe health and healthcare could be. In an ideal healthcare system, which is what I want to work in, it would be like health flowing out. Doctors should be the healthiest people. You know what I mean? Nurses should be the healthiest people. A healthcare system should be full of joy, right? Because it is joyful. I've experienced joy in medicine, right? Of connecting, even in the midst of difficulty, connecting with a human being, helping someone in their time of deepest need, even if it's hard. See, I have no problem at all. And in fact, I'm very happy to do it, to stay up all night to help. I've done it hundreds of times. Stay up all night, no problem, being very tired to help somebody, okay? Gotta do it. We need people to do it. Okay? And I'm very happy to do it. The system knows this. The system knows that doctor's not going to leave their patient hanging. The system knows that nurse is not going to just, check out and leave. And so they tighten the screw harder and harder every year, squeezing more and more goodwill out of people to make the bottom line better and better. And it is so unhealthy. The experience of going through it and having experience, I became so unwell. It disgusts me how unwell I became. And so many people in this space, most of the people in medicine who are not experiencing that have carved themselves out huge space away from it, Charting their own path, you got to do it, is what I finally just said. I just have to chart a different path. This is how change happens. I'm an example, right? That's what the book says. Usually change happens at rock bottom. I kind of hit a rock bottom with my medical experience in the system. I say, I can't go on. Literally, I can't. I'm developing diseases and horrible habits. And see, to heal, right? We need space to heal. I was I need some space to heal from this. And we need a type of medicine that is like what I'm describing to you, right? I've been on a personal journey, right, to heal myself, to find a way of bringing health and wholeness into the world. I'm trying to do exactly what I'm saying. Where I felt crushed and overwhelmed by everything, I say, I have to become healthy again, you know? I was like, I used to be a healthy person. I used to be positive. I used to have positive habits, right? But I got them all crushed out of me. I was like, I got to rebuild that. And which I've done. I am doing it. And now we are radiating it out. See, this is what I'm saying. We are radiating out health and positivity, love and light into the world. Is what I'm trying to do, right? We build that up and then send it out. And I tell you, the process of doing that for me feels good. I spend less of my day feeling overwhelmed by things. I spend less of my day, in fact, none of my day anymore, feeling angry at health systems. I just want to help them. You know what I mean? I just want to help. I want to help everybody with everything. And I think this is the best idea that I have to do it, which is to say, look, we have incredible financial burdens. This is a big thing that's squeezing everybody. I have compassion also for CEOs and administrators of health systems. Everybody's under huge pressure. Everybody's got budgets and things. You know, I do get that. And so they're trying to make, say, the best decisions that they can. You know, you look at the salaries of some of these people and you, maybe I'll temper some of them. I'm trying to be very positive, okay? Some of these people could do a little more, I would say. But this is what we do, right? Not fighting anything. Taking the most positive action we can. Put health in ourselves first. Radiate it out. This is going to help health systems, like when we're on this big level, right? If we can find a way to connect deeply and positively with lots of people, realize, okay, you can become healthier with nothing. This is the promise of fasting. No money required. No purchasing, no consumption. As a model just to show how powerful the human being is, that there's health and healing present right in you right now today. Okay? This is the primary driver of cost in the medical system, is metabolic dysfunction. Okay? It is driving the weight problems, the insulin resistance, the diabetes, is upstream of heart disease, osteoarthritis, most autoimmune disease, most neurological disorder, okay? We are getting down into this very, very root level. And so what if the pressure, you know, I've tried to describe everything that can happen in this fasting space is about taking pressure off everything. From every direction, taking pressure off of our metabolism, taking pressure off the energy, taking pressure off everything we have to do. It's like when we sink into that space, okay, you can lose weight in that space. You can burn through blood sugar in that space, reset insulin resistance. You can see fatty liver, right? You can see these things go away. Not a lot of studies been done on this, but it's just, you have to see that it is true that people who are experiencing rejuvenation in their health, every metabolic parameter getting better, people are going to have decreased risk of cancer in that space. People are going to have decreased risk of heart disease and stroke. People are going to need less joint replacements. You know, you think about the cost of that, you know, just to get a knee. What is it these days? $30,000, $40,000, you know, something like that. And so you look at all this pressure that everybody is under. I say, why don't we just come here and kind of sit in some space and realize this whole path that we've been on, not going in a good direction. We say there's some fear of the unknown. How do you have a health system that's different? This is so broken, like we just can't sit here anymore. See, this is the same space. It's like we human beings, we just sit in a space like I did until we just completely hit the bottom. Then we say we've got to change. I hope you've already been through a place like that. I tell in that session we did the other day, I don't want anybody to have to hit a rock bottom. But it's like we get to a dark place when we finally say the pain of staying the same is more than the pain or the fear of being new and going somewhere different. And so I think if we get into a reflective space, we can embrace the unknown, especially when the known is not so good. See, health system, not so good right now. Let's start over. Let's try to the greatest extent possible. Find a way to build a healthcare system where money isn't the focus, you know. Not in some crazy communist utopia, okay? No crazy things. We need money. We got to pay for things, okay? But like the spirit, you know what I mean? Where it's like where maybe the centering word in healthcare could be enough, you know, that it's enough. We have enough buildings already. We don't need a shiny new building. We need like actual spaces of healing. Like, oh my God. Here's how they end some of this sections here. Oh, I just went off on this suffering make you more worthy. This is, yeah, to conclude that thought. The attitude that gets pushed out in medicine so much these days because people are so unhappy is unhealthy. It's like the more unhappy you are, it's just because you care. This is being pushed out there. The more unhappy you are, you must really be trying to take care of people. Like you are really doing it. And I was like, this is the way that this preys on everybody's emotional space. That is this thing that suffering is making us feel better about ourselves. Like, oh, I'm really being a doctor now, you know? Look how miserable I am. There's a lot of people feeling that way. This is because I'm so dedicated to my patients that, you know, I'm just working so hard. Like, this is how we justify it. This is how I justified it. It's like, I just tell myself, I'm a good person. This is why I'm so miserable. I can take it, you know? And I did that for years and years. That is very unhealthy. I just thank you, book, for pointing that out. It's going to help people. A lot of people need to hear that. Suffering doesn't make you more worthy, okay? Suffering does not make you better. You don't inflict terrible situations on yourself is not helping to make the world better, okay? Or they say, believing that for every good thing in life, there also must be an accompanying bad. This book is so deep, you know? Like, do you get into that thinking? Like, I have had so much of that thinking. Like, oh, it's like something good happens, something bad gonna have to happen, you know, because everything in balance. Like, it's like we're afraid to move towards something good because, like, we just say, oh, there'd be something bad. That's not true. This is how we can develop hope, okay? This is how we can look forward to a brighter future, a better tomorrow, okay? Because there can just be good things in life, and the future can be better, and we don't have to be afraid of it. I had personally so much fear of leaving the regular medical system. I'm like still in the medical system. I'm consulting. See, I'm doing still everything that I like to do. I took everything that I like to do, try to help people be healthy, and I just kept those things. And then I added new things like this, you know, and it's good. This is the type of path I want everybody to walk on. Don't be afraid of things. Just hang on to things that are good. Let go of things that are bad. Move toward love and light. And that is how we heal. They say here, to truly heal, you're going to have to change the way you think. You're going to have to become very conscious of negative and false beliefs. Start shifting to a mindset that actually serves you. To truly heal. This is what I want for everybody. It's what I want for myself first, right? This is what I'm trying to do. This is a healing journey for me, which I'm loving. Is a part of the healing is like just to send out healing into the world, okay? This is what a health system should be about. This is why I couldn't stand, you know, the health system anymore in it, because I was like, the whole vision I had, you know, in medicine, we're supposed to be about healing. This was the healing profession. And, man, there's good things happen. I don't want to be too cynical. There are good things in medicine. There's incredible technology. There are medications that help people. I'm not opposed to anything like that. But healing as a word is so much bigger than an MRI scanner or some piece of technology. The real healing, the part that makes medicine a joy, both for the people who are practicing it and for the people who are experiencing it. And the part that we can't lose in the midst of the incredible technological experience we're having with so-called thinking computer systems and all of this is the human connection of people. In my personal experience, it's almost impossible to have a deep human connection that people would describe as a healing, therapeutic relationship with someone where the person who is supposed to be the healer can't be at rock bottom, okay? You're talking with a doctor who's at rock bottom. You're working with a nurse who is at rock bottom. You can feel that, right? You can feel that, the emotion, the connection. This is when I started to know I had to, leave, when I was like the patient's trying to take care of me. I'm like, man, we are so far away from like the vision of healing relationships, of what true health is, true health system. Gotta fill up the people who are running it with health so that the health can overflow to people. This type of thing is possible. It's already been done, right? I think the health system used to be like that before it went crazy. Okay. Here I'm going to give you some quotes. I found some great quotes. I was just looking for quotes that summarized this type of thinking. Help us move beyond our fear. Help us to do it. Give us encouragement to move on our journey. This is for Pat, because yesterday you were talking about takes courage, right? It takes courage to face the bully, right? This drill sergeant, right? Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. So to change, to move in a bold direction of health and healing, it's like, I can't tell anybody that that's an easy thing to do, but it's a good thing to do. And I encourage people to think as deeply as possible about it. What does it mean in your life to be courageous, to move toward health and healing in a courageous way, to overcome the fear, to step out into the unknown, to take bold and powerful steps. You can do it, is what I tell you. You can do it. Maybe the first step, just to sit in this space, look at the space we're at, the base camp, just sit here. Maybe you don't have to do anything, right? Maybe the bold step is to realize I don't actually have to do anything. Take all the pressure off. My sitting here and telling, oh, you can do it. There's no drill sergeant, right? I'm not telling you, get to the gym. I'm not telling you, judging you in any fashion if you don't do anything in particular. Maybe the courage is just to embrace enough. Realize I am enough right now. Nothing else required. It's how you let go of all the judgments, everything that is holding you down. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. What do you think of that? I'm sitting with it a little bit right now. Is everything we want on the other side of fear? I'm not big on words like everything, okay, or always, or like, you know, there's an exception to almost everything, okay? It's like, so like, I'm thinking like, also like everything that we want is right here, right now. So like we're trying to walk this line. We're trying to overcome obstacles in our fear and be bold and courageous and move towards something. And then we're also trying to just sit in a space and recognize that everything is enough. I am enough. Everything is okay. And so like everything we want is also available to us right now. That peace and contentment is here with us. Health is here now. Health is our way of being. So summon up the big, bold thinking when you need it, and also like find the balance of recognizing that also like just the openness that we have here to recognize like everything is okay in this moment. Do the thing you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. I sandwiched these two. We got kind of like two Mark Twains. Courage. The death of fear. Very, very powerful line. Are there steps that you need to take? Are there things like you even block them out of your mind because you're like, oh, I know, like that's what we were saying the other day, the resistance, right? We don't feel emotional resistance in our being to things that aren't important. Not a lot of resistance to say, I think I'm just going to turn on Netflix. I'm going to watch my favorite show. Is like no resistance, no voice saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, you know? But it's like, when it's like, we resist the things like, I really should get on this path. I really should open up this space. I really should do this. Things like we feel the resistance to the things that are important. We can use that as a guide. When you're in that space, you're saying, oh, I'm trying to do this fasting practice because I want to open up this space, give a gift to my body. And you feel like, oh, but I might feel a little uncomfortable. I might have some hunger. I might have something. Okay, so then we fear it. It's like, oh, see, that's a conversation we're having with the fear, the things that are important. I don't know if I should go to the gym. I don't know if I should take a walk. It's like easier to not do that. I kind of sit here. It's like you feel the resistance to the thing that's giving health to the body. It's like, oh, I feel like I really should buy this thing. I should have this food. It'd be so tasty. I'd feel so good when I'm eating it. It's like, oh, but how do we feel later? And if we bought this, I say, oh, I could buy this. Oh, but I don't really know if I want to. You see, these are the conversations we're having with our fear. How do we kill that voice? You just power through it. You do the thing. Fear is telling you don't do it. You're not the type of person that can do that. You're not strong enough to do that. Other types of people do that, but not you, okay? When you're hearing voices like that, you kill that fear by doing the thing when you have decided this is what is important to my life. This is what the path is toward health and healing. I am not going to be convinced by these ridiculous arguments of judgment and discouragement, negative thinking. I'm going to replace that negative thinking with a positive reality. I am a human being. I am strong and powerful. I am thoughtful and considerate. I have looked at my life deeply and decided that this is the direction that I'm going to move, and I am not going to be denied my contentment. I'm not going to be denied the peace of existing here in my own mind, in my own space, with my own positive thoughts. And then the negative thoughts will diminish. You will banish them to the pages of the history of your journal where you wrote them out and shut the book, and we've moved on. Embrace the unknown. That is my best thoughts for embracing the unknown. It's like, we do not know what does tomorrow bring. What does even the rest of this day bring? I don't know. What does our health journey really look like? We don't know. When we embrace the unknown, we actually open up so many possibilities. I loved that. I don't even remember which book it was in. We were saying, it was Atomic Habits. We'll get back to that. When we only are focusing on the goal, it's like the goal is only one thing. But when we're about a way of being, when we're about building a system, a practice, like then that just becomes a way of being that you find joy in. And that joy can flow in lots of different directions. Maybe you don't accomplish the specific goal, but because you were just existing in a space, maybe you flowed off towards something better, Just awesome. We embrace the unknown because it opens up the best case scenario. It takes all the pressure off. It's embracing words like hope, love, and light. It's practicing in our life trust. Like, do you believe that there is something meaningful happening here in this existence, Can we trust that that's the case? That there are good things in store? That we don't have to hang on so tightly that if we lost this current version of ourselves, that we wouldn't find something better? It's only in the unknown that you can unlock something like that. A healthier version of ourselves. Mentally, physically. Gotta let go of the old to make room for something new. Have a beautiful day. I have no idea what's happening in the world. I say shelter yourself a little bit. It doesn't matter if you're struggling in any space. Keep the good vibes of this session going. You can float through this space. Let the world take care of itself for a little bit. And you focus, take care of yourself. Make sure that you are good, in this day. That you're moving toward health, that you're on your path. Don't let anybody else knock you off, okay? Embrace the unknown. I will embrace the unknown. We will see what happens tomorrow in our fasting space. See, I haven't planned it yet, so we'll embrace that unknown. We'll see what happens tomorrow, okay? Really nice to share this space with you. I'll see you tomorrow.